everything you knew about attracting women is wrong. Yup, you heard me right. If you're tired of the same old advice that leads to nothing but frustration and dead ends, then stick around because today, we're flipping the script. Imagine this: you meet a girl, there's an instant spark, things are going great, and then out of nowhere, it just stalls. It's like you're on a roller coaster that stops right at the peak, and you're left hanging there, wondering what went wrong. Been there? Yeah, I thought so. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that frustrating cycle? Well, way to go from being someone she's kind of interested in to someone she can't stop thinking about, someone she's obsessed with. Today, I'm going to share with you the secrets that can change everything. Ready to dive into the world of attraction mastery? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Stalemate Trap. Why your game is stuck in neutral. Let's get real for a second. We've all been there. You meet someone, there's this undeniable chemistry, things are flowing smoothly, and then suddenly nothing. It's like hitting a brick wall. The energy fizzles out, and you're left in this weird limbo where things aren't moving forward. Frustrating, right? So what's the deal here? How do we go from that initial excitement to feeling like we're stuck on a treadmill going nowhere? The answer lies in understanding the subtle dynamics of attraction. It's not just about having a great start, it's about sustaining that energy over time. Attraction isn't a one-time deal, it's an ongoing process. And if you're not actively maintaining it, things can stall out quickly. But here's the kicker: it's not about doing more, it's about doing things differently. Most guys think that if they just try harder, send more texts, plan more dates, be more available, they'll keep the momentum going. But the truth is, that approach can actually have the opposite effect. What you need to understand is that attraction is like a delicate dance. It's about balance. You don't want to come on too strong, but you also don't want to fade into the background. It's a game of push and pull. But here's the good news: once you understand how to play this game, you can take control and start steering the relationship where you want it to go. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. So buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the strategies that will help you keep that spark alive and turn casual interest into full-blown obsession. Chapter 2. Seeding her mind, how to make her think about you constantly. All right, let's get into the meat of it. If you want her to be obsessed with you, you've got to occupy her thoughts even when you're not around. Think of it like this: you want to plant seeds in her mind, seeds of curiosity, intrigue, and yes, desire. Because the more time she spends thinking about you, the stronger her emotional attachment will become. But this isn't about just being on her mind, it's about how you're there and what she's thinking about when she thinks of you. Here's where the scramble method comes into play. You need to become that guy she can't quite figure out. The one who's not always available, who keeps her guessing. This doesn't mean playing hard to get in a way that's annoying or distant. No, it's about creating an emotional puzzle, something that she feels compelled to solve. You want to be the person she's trying to decode, the one she's talking to her friends about, trying to understand what you meant by that last text, or what your silence really means. But here's the thing: this isn't about mind games. It's about engaging her on a deeper level, making her want to understand you more, because you're not laying everything out on the table right away. You're giving her just enough to keep her interested, but not so much that she feels like she's got you all figured out. But it's like reading a mystery novel. You're not going to stop turning the pages if you're hooked on the story, right? That's the feeling you want to create. So, how do you do this? It's all about timing, subtlety, and knowing when to pull back just a little, creating that space for her to lean in. Chapter 3. The danger of being a safe bet. Why predictability kills attraction. Now let's talk about a trap that a lot of guys fall into: the safe bet trap. On the surface, it seems like being reliable, predictable, and always available would be good things, right? But here's the harsh truth: predictability is the ultimate passion killer. When she knows exactly what you're going to say, what you're going to do, and how you're going to react, the excitement fades. It's like watching the same movie over and over again. Eventually, it loses its appeal. Think of attraction like a fire. If you feed it the same amount of fuel in the same way every time, it's going to burn out. You need to keep adding different kinds of fuel to keep that flame alive. This means you've got to mix things up, keep her guessing, make her wonder what you're going to do next. When you're too predictable, she stops being curious. And when she stops being curious, she stops feeling that rush of excitement when she's around you. So how do you avoid being the safe bet? It's all about maintaining an air of unpredictability. Don't always be available. Don't always respond right away. When you do respond, mix up the way you communicate. Sometimes be playful, sometimes be serious, sometimes be deep, and sometimes keep it light. The key is to keep her on her toes, never quite sure what she's going to get from you next. This doesn't mean being erratic or unreliable, but it does mean breaking out of the mold and doing things a little differently each time. Remember, unpredictability is what keeps things exciting, and excitement is the key to keeping her hooked. Chapter 4, Shaking UP the Monotony, How to Keep Her Intrigued and Interested. Let's dive deeper into this idea of unpredictability. One of the biggest killers of attraction is monotony. When every interaction follows the same pattern, it doesn't take long before she starts to lose interest. It's like eating the same meal every day. No matter how good it is, eventually you're going to crave something different. That's why it's so important to shake things up, to keep her intrigued and on her toes. Start by varying the ways you communicate. Don't just stick to texting, throw in a phone call out of the blue, send a voice note, or even write a short letter if you're feeling creative. Each different mode of communication brings out a different side of your personality and keeps things fresh. Next, don't be afraid to switch up the topics of conversation. Talk about your passions, your dreams, but also ask about hers. Discuss deep topics one day, and then something completely lighthearted and fun the next. The goal is to create a dynamic, multifaceted relationship where she never quite knows what to expect, but always looks forward to what's next. And here's a pro tip. Surprise her with something unexpected. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe it's showing up with her face or fee, or suggesting a spontaneous road trip. The key is to break the routine, to do something that catches her off guard in a good way. Remember, it's the unexpected moments that create the most lasting memories. By keeping things fresh and exciting, you ensure that she's always looking forward to the next time she sees you. Chapter 5, Showing Your Multidimensional Self, How to Be the Enigma She Can't Figure Out. Here's a question. Are you showing her all the sides of who you are? Or are you just sticking to one version of yourself, the version you think she likes? If you're doing the latter, it's time to switch things up. You see, attraction isn't just about having a good first impression, it's about continually revealing new layers of who you are. If she thinks she's got you all figured out, her interest is going to start to wane. But if you're constantly surprising her with new aspects of your personality, she's going to be intrigued, captivated, and yes, obsessed. Think of yourself like an onion. No, seriously, think of yourself as having layers, and each time you're with her, you peel back another one. Maybe she knows you as the fun, adventurous guy, but does she also know that you're passionate about music or that you've got a soft spot for animals? Show her these different sides and you'll become this intriguing, multi-dimensional person she wants to know more about. Don't be afraid to mix things up. One day, take her on an adventure, like a hike or a spontaneous road trip. The next, have a deep conversation about life and your goals. And another day, share something personal, maybe a story from your childhood or a dream you've been pursuing. The key is to keep revealing new layers of who you are, so she never feels like she's fully figured you out. The more she realizes there's to discover, the more she'll be drawn to you, wanting to learn more. Chapter 6, Breaking Free from the NIC Guy Syndrome, Why Being Too NIC Can Backfire. All right, this one might sting a little, but it's important. Being the nice guy might seem like a good strategy, but here's the truth, being too nice can actually backfire. I'm not saying you should be a jerk, far from it, but if you're always agreeable, always going along with whatever she says, never standing up for yourself, you're going to come across as, well, boring. And boring is the last thing you want to be. Women are attracted to men who have a backbone, guys who aren't afraid to voice their opinions, stand their ground, and even challenge them a little. It's not about being combative, it's about showing that you're your own person with your own thoughts and beliefs. If you're constantly trying to please her, you're going to lose her respect. And without respect, there's no attraction. So how do you break free from the nice guy syndrome? Start by setting boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no when something doesn't sit right with you. Be honest about your feelings, even if you think she might not like it. And most importantly, don't be afraid of a little conflict. disagreements, when handled maturely, can actually strengthen a relationship. They show that you're not afraid to stand up for yourself. And that's a trait that's inherently attractive. Remember, being nice is important, but being overly accommodating to the point where you lose your sense of self isn't. Women are drawn to men who are confident, assertive, and true to themselves. So don't be afraid to step out of the nice guy shadow and show her that you're a man with conviction and self-respect. Chapter 7, The Power of Mystery, Why You Should Never Reveal Everything. Let's talk about mystery. If you want to create a deep, lasting attraction, you've got to leave a little something to the imagination. Think of it like this: the more she knows about you, the less she's going to feel the need to discover. But if you keep a few things under wraps, if you're not always an open book, she's going to keep coming back, eager to learn more. Mystery isn't about hiding who you are, it's about revealing yourself gradually in layers. It's about giving her just enough to keep her intrigued, but not so much that she feels like there's nothing left to discover. This might mean being a little more reserved about your past, or not always sharing every detail of your day-to-day life. It's about letting her wonder, letting her imagination fill in the blanks. For example, if you've got an interesting hobby or passion, don't spill all the details right away. Drop hints, make her curious, or if there's something you're passionate about, share a little bit, but hold back some of the deeper details for later conversations. The idea is to create a sense of anticipation, a feeling that there's always more to you than meets the eye. The bottom line is this: mystery is sexy. It's what keeps things exciting, what keeps her wanting more. So embrace the power of mystery. Be the guy who's full of surprises, the guy who always has something new up his sleeve. When she feels like there's always more to discover, she'll never want to stop exploring. Mastering the art of attraction, your next steps. So there you have it, the secrets to transforming casual interest into full-blown obsession. Let's recap those key points first. Don't fall into the safe bet trap. Keep things unpredictable and exciting. Second, shake up the monotony by mixing up your interactions and keeping her intrigued. Third, embrace your multidimensional self and show her all the layers of who you are. Fourth, break free from the nice guy syndrome by setting boundaries and standing your ground. And finally, harness the power of mystery. Don't reveal everything at once. Keep her guessing, keep her curious. Now it's time to put these strategies into action. The next time you're with that special someone, start applying these principles. Whether it's being more unpredictable, showing your multi-dimensional side, or embracing the power of mystery, each step you take will bring you closer to being the person she can't get out of her mind. Remember, attraction isn't a one-time thing, it's a journey. And with these tools in your arsenal, you're well on your way to mastering the art of attraction. So go out there, start turning heads, and watch as you become the guy she just can't stop thinking about. The adventure of love and attraction is constantly evolving, and you're now equipped to navigate it with confidence and skill. Here's to your journey toward deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. Keep pushing forward, keep learning, and most importantly, keep being the best version of you.